Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins #1. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Miami Dolphins post-game show on the Fins Talk Sports Network. I'm your host, Bobby Finstock. That is the one and only FinStanza Posner. So not the first time we've been on today for post-game. We were on earlier today to our good friend Manny on the Battered Fins Fan podcast. Gave our quick thoughts of the game during that show, but saved a lot for now. But let me just welcome everyone who's tuning in, whether you're watching on X, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, wherever you're watching. We appreciate you for tuning in. The Miami Dolphins have moved to 9-3. They dominate in DC, beating the Commanders 45-15. FinStanza, what a game for the Dolphins. I mean, if you're going to win, if you're going to face a team like that, yes, there's things you're going to want to work on. There's things that you could nitpick.
Hey, he gave you how many points? He gave you what? 9 points today?
Yeah, give us some. Yeah, he did really well for us.
He gave you 9 points. 9 points. By the way,
points?
If the Jets got 9 points, they would have had a chance today.
That's true. Yeah. If the Patriots got 9 points, they would have had a chance.
Yeah,
but
they would have won.
They would have. They would have won. So anyway, guys, my goodness, what a game! There's little things here and there. I know Evan, riled up the Battered Fin Fan podcast a little bit with the nitpicking. But what matters is that if you're going to face a team with the 29th ranked defense that's 4-8 on the season, and you're supposed to be a playoff Super Bowl quote unquote contender, you need to have the game that the Dolphins had today, and they had themselves a football game. Dominating again 45-15. I predicted 44-14, so I was 1 point off on both sides. But hey, can't help being me.
First time, guys, in NFL history that a game ended 45-15.
Really? It's the first time in history. Wow. Miami just keeps making history.
Yeah.
I was rooting so hard for Raheem Mostert to get another touchdown.
He's gonna get it.
I know Achane
has 9 touchdowns. In 69 carries, the guy has 9 touchdowns. 9 touchdowns and 69 touches.
Just crazy. But before we get in on all of that, again, guys, Miami Dolphins post-game show, we are sponsored by Caneswear at Miami Fanwear. Again, if you guys love Dolphins merch, if you love the Miami Dolphins, if you love any Miami sports team, they've got it. They got a great doorbuster sale going on. Everything Miami, great sales, great merch. They have that. Yes, sir. They got some great stuff over there. Go check them out at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, Florida, or go to caneswear.com. If you're not located or you can't get out there, they got great merch on the site. Everything they have in store, they have it on the site, and they ship over $99. It's free anywhere in the United States. All right, FinStanza, my brother.
Yeah.
Your initial thoughts on today's win, the Dolphins?
Really simply put, best game they've played all year. It's the most complete game they've played all year on all sides of the ball. There obviously are, like I'll mention later, we'll talk about it, where I feel the team still needs to improve, but that's totally fine. But if we just start off with the offense, no turnovers, ran the ball when they had to run the ball. Tua was in his element. He was scrambling. His pocket presence today really shined on his ability to get out of the pocket, to make decisions. I don't think he got sacked today. I don't think he got any sacks today. I didn't look, but I can pull that up in a minute.
No, I don't think he was sacked once.
I haven't pulled up the stat. I'll pull up the stats after. He overall, Tyreek Hill is a cheat code. I don't care what anybody says. This man should be the MVP of the league. This is a guy who was hobbling along the field, and this guy literally, they still don't know how to cover him. And I don't want to hear one thing about Tua with a poor arm, because those 2 passes were gorgeous. Yes, they were. He had to adjust.
I'm not arguing.
No, he had to adjust on one, but he had to put the ball there because of where the defender was. But it doesn't even matter what Tua does. Tyreek Hill is something else. I've never seen, by the way, how hilarious was that celebration? They literally lined up, fastened their seatbelt, and went on a roller coaster. It's like the Miami Dolphins. What that was? I was wondering what the hell they were doing. They went to fasten the seat. They all lined up, fastened the seatbelt, and they went on a roller coaster. It was phenomenal.
Dude.
Honestly, if you watched the crowd today, it kind of felt like it was a home game. You were in Landover, Maryland, and it looked like you were at a Dolphins home game. Honestly, like the Dolphin fans are showing up. The FedEx takeover last week, MetLife takeover. It was just phenomenal. The running game didn't have, in terms of yards per carry, was not great. It was only in the threes because I feel they were pushed back a little bit. But when they had to get into that 4-minute offense in the fourth quarter, it was phenomenal. Achan was able to get through and bust some holes. So was Raheem Mostert. So was Jeff Wilson. And Waddle, I think, was a little bit more of the concern today because he had 2 drop balls he should have caught. The River Craycraft had some action. Julian Hill had some nice catches today. The offensive line, honestly, Keon Smith has been great coming in because when Teron Armstead wasn't feeling all that great, they didn't want to take any chances. He looked great. Liam Eichenberg did his job. So did Connor Williams. There was no issues there. Rob Hunt. Rob Hunt did a very good job in terms of just doing what he had to, and they brought in Lester Cotton when they had to. Austin Jackson has been a stud at right tackle. Overall, the team has just been great on that side. In terms of the defense, Terry McLaurin basically said at the end of the game that that he basically did a lot of cardio today. Jalen Ramsey did not allow him to get anything today. Curtis Samuel got some catches because of the fact that the linebackers, and we'll talk about that after, were covering him. But overall, good for Emmanuel Ogbah. It looks like the team is going through a wall for Emmanuel Ogbah. Andrew Van Ginkel, I said this to you when it happened after Jalen Phillips got injured. I'm not worried because Andrew Van Ginkel is a stud. That interception, his spin move, that spinorama to get to the quarterback on that first sack, whoa. His presence to catch that football, he's making a lot of money. And he just hired Drew Rosenhaus as his agent. Yep. I'll be honest with you. Jason Sanders, good for him, 9 points. My biggest concern, I'll be shocking you, Jerome Baker, that we're going to talk about the injury. I feel bad for Jerome Baker, but that's where I think our weakness is right now. And if they could sneak in and go get Leonard, who's still visiting with the Eagles and the Cowboys, I'd go get him tomorrow. I'd pay him what he ever has to pay because I think we need to shore up that middle linebacker.
Manny asked that earlier, and I meant to look at that.
But my biggest concern, actually, is I wish we would have kept Thomas Morstead because Jake Bailey is not a great punter. I understand it's only special teams, but that's a little bit of something where it's just been consistent there. Like, we can't have any muff punts in big games, but if that's our worst problem, that's one of our problems, then I'm okay. Mike McDaniel called an excellent game today. Vic Fangio called a great game today. Overall, it was just a great win across all 3 phases.
So very quick, because when we were on Manny's show, he did bring this up in regards to, because you just brought up Leonard. Right now, currently, the Dolphins cap space, they have $3,715,031. That's where they're at. So about 3.7.
Okay.
And so
for the remainder of the season, I think you can.
I think you can. I mean, you could go lower, and then but you don't want to.
I think he still gets his salary.
Money left. The Colts gave him some money, so that's why you'd be getting him for cheap. So maybe the Dolphins make that call. Money is there. Obviously, it's sparse. But, when you're making a playoff push, put all your dice. To me, you push all your dice to the center of the table.
Yeah.
Or all your chips.
Absolutely.
But no, you're not wrong. In regards to the tour thing you brought up, the reason why I shook my head, because I saw some of that. First off, they can't be happy. Either they said he dinks and dunks it to Tyreek to run for 50, or when he throws it deep, they say he lobs it, and it's so easy for him.
Oh, please. Those are gorgeous passes.
And what you do see, though, what I saw there was not that it was a lob or anything of that nature. What I saw was chemistry. What I saw was that he trusted him to be there, and that's when those quote-unquote scripted plays work out. I mean, there was a play, the second bomb, when not the one on the left, but the one to the right.
Yeah, where he had to adjust.
Tyreek was in the front of your screen when Tua said height. He was in the front of your screen. You saw him right by Tua running past Tua, and as soon as he ran past Tua, threw it up, and Tyreek was already down the field. It was the craziest freaking play I've seen.
He's a cheat code.
The dude is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
He's at 500. Him
and it should be easy for Tua to do it. That should be the case, because if Tua can't do that with Tyreek Hill, we have a problem. So Tua's doing exactly
not every
what
quarterback
he should be
can
doing.
do that. Not every
absolutely. That's what exactly. No, because did Teddy Bridgewater do it? No. Did Skylar Thompson do it in his rookie year? No. Tua's doing that, and that's why that's the good thing. They could have scored 70 if they didn't let off the gas.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So they took their time throughout the game. They were killing the clock for most of it. Pierre-Paul did not play today. He doesn't know the scheme yet. He doesn't know the scheme yet. Why rush him? Why rush him?
And they might put him in now. They might bring him in a little faster now with Baker being out.
Yeah, speaking of Waddle has a problem catching footballs lately.
Something's going on. Yeah, I agree. You said that earlier.
That was actually Tua for me. That was one of Tua's best plays. He broke out of the pocket, gave himself space. Waddle adjusted, came back to the middle of the field. He put it to him right where only he could catch it. He was there by himself, and he dropped it. Yeah. And JT's 100% right. What you all talked about all week, and I was talking to you before the show, anything in the NFL, every game matters. Because if you look at teams that lost today, Pittsburgh, which had a 7-4 record, got beaten up by the Arizona Cardinals. The 49ers went into Lincoln Financial, and the crybaby never deserves a penalty Eagles got destroyed in that football game. So it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter who you beat. The same way that everyone thinks the Dallas Cowboys are the greatest thing since sliced bread. They lost to Arizona. Do you know Arizona, their wins are against playoff teams? Their wins are against playoff teams. And they beat them by more than 2 touchdowns, 2 to 3 touchdowns. That's what the Cardinals are doing against playoff teams.
There it is.
Yeah. But what I was also really impressed with everyone is the third down efficiency. Like at one point, they were 6 for 6 on third down, which means they were able to really kill the clock. Because at one point, they were getting off the field a little too fast, and they were losing the time of possession battle. But it didn't really matter because the Dolphins, when they got on the field, they only really had one bad drive where they were backed up, and then they took a penalty, and they were on their 6, and they punted it away. But besides that, it was a very, very good offensive performance by this team. And I continue, Bobby, I don't care. But Butch Barry, I don't know what he's doing, how he's doing it, but what they're doing with that offensive line is absolutely phenomenal. It's just they are protecting their quarterback.
They're doing exactly what they needed to do. And again, we talked about winning the turnover battle. They did that today. Protected the football. No major mistake. There was no fumbles. There was no INTs. It was one of those games, and not at one point did you go, hey, be careful. You knew we had this game. It was after 17-0, and again, 17-0 is nothing. Teams come back you don't let up, you don't put your foot off the gas, but you knew the way this game was going. Miami had it in the bag, offense and defensively.
Yeah, the Saints almost came back and broke the record for one of the greatest comebacks in Saints history, because they were down like 3 touchdowns to the Lions, and they ended up being down by 5 points, and then it ended up being said. Then the Lions ended up winning, but no lead is safe in football. No lead is safe.
Yeah, and Ray, I'm with you. Go Packers. Yeah. Right now, guys. It's tonight,
Taylor
right?
Swift is there, and they haven't lost with Taylor Swift in the building.
They're going to lose tonight. It's in Lambeau.
I said that too.
I said, yes, I know. Upset alert. I say the Chiefs are going to lose today in Lambeau to the Packers. JT, Chris, Ray, I see everybody here. Forgive me. I think Villain, everyone tuning in. Appreciate you. Manny, Bearded Fanatics. JT, Niners beat the Eagles with ease. That's how a real competitive team beat above-tier competition. Any given Sunday, brother. And that was one of I said that the Northern Niners would win that game. They did, but it was a dominant performance. It tells you, first off, you can't sleep on the Niners. They're still that team. And Eagles can be beaten. Hopefully teams like Miami and so forth, if Miami faces them again, which they probably will in the Super Bowl. I'm speaking into existence. That shows them how to beat them when it comes time. Because remember, usually when the team wins the first time, they don't win the second time. Just saying. Just saying. We just got to get there. We just got to get
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
We will. We will. All right. Tua Tagovailoa this today finished 18 of 24, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, QBR of 90.3, but a quarterback rating, which is funny, 141.
He was phenomenal today.
Talk to me.
He showed today that he did not make any mistakes with the football. He did not make mistakes with the football. He was hiking it. I don't know if you ever noticed it. Have you noticed now? I think they've changed. Connor Williams and him have changed the way they hike the football. If you go watch the game, Bobby, you know sometimes if you're in the backyard with Audrey and with Kristen and you want to hike the football, you hold the football like this, right? Connor Williams has been hiking the football like this to Tua. So Tua's catching it with the ball facing him like this, and when he gets it, he turns.
Really?
Yeah, go watch that. It's
Okay,
really interesting, and it's
interesting.
easier for Tua to catch the football because he's catching the bigger part of the football, not the smaller part. And it's harder to hike it over someone's head when it's going like this versus like this. Which go watch it. I thought that was really interesting. He had command. He was handing it off great. The committee, he was just in good space with his running backs. He was quick to throw. Under 2.1, 2.2 seconds. He had command of his team. He looked like a leader out there. He didn't look lost. He didn't look frustrated. He looked like he was in command of this team. Like, how funny because they're playing the Commanders. He looked in command. He looked like somebody who is ready to play December football because on any given Sunday, and he realized he had ice in his veins because he was going deep when he felt like he needed to, and he was fitting into sharp windows whenever he had to. The guy, he looked very, very confident today. He looked like a leader. He looked like the leader we've been hoping like he was at the beginning of the season.
And I'm talking, yeah, he played up great. He looked like he learned from what happened last week and previous weeks. But that's something that's great about Tua is that, he could have a down game or he could have a down drive and come back better and a more clean play and a more clean drive. And today was one of those days where I don't think at any one point I was scratching my head going, what was that? No. It was a clean game.
When the second touchdown was caught, they did the celebration on the first touchdown. When Tyreek caught the second one, you know what he did? He ran all the way back to Tua. He said that was all – Tua put it in a place that only Tyreek was going to get it. And he knew that Tyreek would get it. And he was so – like Tyreek was if you look at the praise he gave Tua at the end of this game, it was crazy. Like he was so all over what Tua did today. Tyreek averaged 31 yards a catch today. That's ridiculous.
It's crazy. Yeah, and he finished with 14 today after today's game.
Yeah.
He's at 1,481 yards and 12 touchdowns on the season.
That means he needs to average how many games left? They're 11. They're 9-3, right? They're 5 games left.
Yeah, 5 games.
That means he has to average 103 yards a game for the rest of the season. He'll do it.
I hope.
How is he not going to do that against in the next 2 games? He's probably going to get 300.
Yeah. And then of course,
we're going home. We're going home.
Well, let's go. Before we jump, we're going to get back to the receivers. But
that is true. McDaniel has to put that in his pocket, eh?
He is on pace for 2,099 yards. I'm sorry, what was it?
Yes, he did. He didn't make any mistakes. By the way, no, he was great today. By the way, McDaniel really does suck. He did. I don't think he's ever won a challenge.
Ronald McDonald.
He was on earlier today.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what Pat Surtain was talking about. But anyway, Raheem Mostert had himself a good game today. Got a touchdown. Devon Achane getting a chance to come back now after another stint to sit and an injury. But today seemed like the Achane. I don't want to say Achane of old because he's not Achane of old. He's a rookie, but he looked like the rookie we talked about, and the rookie I was saying to you earlier, FinStanza on pregame. The guy that I believe that when even though the Dolphins are the number 1 offense in football, when he's on that field, this is a different offense. It's a better offense. He frees up Raheem. He frees up Tua. He gives them another weapon, and he played really well today. 72 yards, 2 touchdowns, average about 4 yards a carry. Raheem Mostert, 43 yards and a touchdown. Yes, Mostert now moves to 16 total touchdowns and 14. Who is talking? Okay. No, sorry. Something started playing in my ear, and I'm like, what Windows?
Sometimes when you go to a website, there's a video in the background.
So stupid. It's the dumbest thing. I hate that.
By the way,
Anyway,
you know we held the. We actually had it was a very conservative 400 yards today of offense. Like
it
it didn't
was.
even feel like they had to do that. They did a lot of. But what was actually for me, what was most really impressive though was that last drive. They got to even when they needed third down, fourth down, they literally ran the ball except for one shovel pass that was the run that ended up HN scoring that touchdown. They literally went from the 25 to a touchdown, run, 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 and they killed the clock for like 7 minutes. It was
That's all they did.
phenomenal.
Yep. You didn't see any passes from. I remember you and I when we were watching that Panthers game, and they let Mike White take the pass. It was intercepted, returned, and it was like, dude, what are you doing? Run
Never
the
again.
Clock. Never again. Just run the ball.
Never again. Just run the
all
ball.
you need to do. That's all you need to do.
And I love Devon Achane. That guy is just some. But that committee of Wilson, Mostert, and Achane, they did their job today. Like they each contributed whatever they had to. Achane had 73 yards. Mostert had 43. Jeff Wilson had 11, but it's not a big deal. They still had 123 yards of offense. I told you, man, hey, let's see if I was actually right. I know it was the 4-minute offense, but if you actually look, 34 divided by 59, 58% run, 42% pass. It worked out exactly how we thought it should, give or take a percent or two.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this play right here. He could have gone. Let me go back. I just saw the play right now. The first touchdown to Tyreek.
Yeah.
And Tua said he could have got it to Achane or to Tyreek on that play. Both were wide open. And you go back and you watch that play, and look, Achane wide open on the other side of that field. That's what tells you. That's what I'm saying. What Achane does for this football team, the options that he gives to not only the coach but to his quarterback. He doesn't even have to line up at running back. He can line up at receiver, and he's going to catch it and take it to the house, and he will. He could have easily done that, but then Tyreek would have had one touchdown, but it would have been a beautiful game. That's the difference Achane makes. So it was great to see him, and it's going to be great to have him in this December. The Dolphins improve to they go 1-0 to start the month. We know how much we've been waiting for this December because they struggle in December. They did it last year where they fell into the playoffs. This year, it looks like they are going to not steamroll, but do really well. As long as they get there's 5 games left. If again, we want to go 5-0 in this final stretch. If they go 3-2, I'm very happy. I'm very happy.
If the games are close,
God, you're tough to please.
No, you know what it is? It's just because they're such a family-based team, and they're just so. Right now, this is the best opportunity for them. They just need to do what they have to take care of their business. Like to beat any NFL team by 30 points is no easy feat. No easy feat. So it's for me, they just need to. I want them to get to 13. I think they should show because I don't think they lose a game because of just they lose a game. Like personally, for me, I think they have to play all 17 to get the number 1 seed, but I don't think they should fall back on that. But all I can tell you is I couldn't be happy. This is a different 8. Like we said this morning, it's a very different 8-3 team, and we have to go back to 2001 to be 9-3. I was in my you and I you were like 15 years old or 4 whatever you were. I was what were you 25 years ago? No, you were 11.
I have no clue.
Oh, let's just do the math. 22 years ago, you're 35. That means you were 13 years old. You were being bar mitzvahed. and I literally was 41. I was 18 years old, 17 years old. Like it's ridiculous. 17 years old. It's ridiculous.
Like in a long time.
It's in a long time. We have to go back to Dave Wanstead. Like awful. It's crazy. Like this is a very different group. This is and they look the family.
Shoot, Joseph. Holland was out.
Yeah, and by the way, Holland, I told you, was great. And also, halfway through the game, they rested Kendall Lamb. They rested Robert Hunt. They rested Teron Armstead, who had a little bit of an ankle issue. They took Tua out in the 4th quarter. They sat Tyreek Hill. They did what they had to do.
Absolutely.
Keon Smith, honestly, looked like the coldest guy on the field when he was wearing that thing over his head and his ears. But you ever look at Keon Smith? He doesn't even look like a lineman. Like the guy's not a big guy. Like he doesn't look like a big guy, but he's tall. But he did a good job.
What do you think is going on? Obviously, we talked about Tyreek. I mean, again, obviously, as a quarterback, Tua is probably, between the two, more favored to be MVP if he was considered MVP to the NFL. But in my opinion, I think Tyreek Hill's the lead should be the leader in the house for MVP. The way he's playing, what he does for the offense, what he does for his quarterback, etc. Not taking anything away from Tua, it's just my opinion. But you brought up Jalen Waddle, and I noticed it as well. I mean, the ball was in his hands, he dropped it. Then it was a deeper one, came out of his hands. Of course, that was a tougher one, but still, they add up, and that's been. I mean, it's. But I remember I said something earlier in this. I said this throughout the season too. I've talked about there's been issues. I think there's been something going on with Jalen Waddle. There seems like something's been going on.
He's happy though, like the win after the game, like
for real. No, he looks happy, but I don't know what it is on the field.
I think he has I think he just has It's a difference between being elite, and it's a difference between being Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, or Chad Boyd, or being Puka Nacua. Like it's like you're the second in command to him. Like I think he's used to getting a lot of reps. And he did have just as many as Tyreek today, but I think he just has a default in the game. The same, and he just needs to work at it. I think when he makes the hard stuff look easy, he makes the easy stuff look hard. That's what Jalen Waddle's always been about. He's like that in college too. The hard catches, the deep throws, the jump balls, he catches. The routine in front of him, or the crossing routes, he struggles.
See if any kind of thing pops up here.
Maybe he thinks we're hurting McDaniel.
And the Patriots now are mathematically eliminated.
Huh?
Patriots now are mathematically eliminated.
And so are the Carolina Panthers.
Let's see here. Sorry, I'm trying to hear. I thought I heard some. All right. So.
But it's pretty amazing how when you look at the stat today and you see Curtis Samuel 4 for 65, Antonio Gibson 4 for 37, Jahan Dotson 2 for 23, and then Cole Turner 1 for 2, and you see Terry McLaurin 0 for 0 on 0. That Jalen Ramsey I told you is absolutely something else.
That's the next best thing. Like if you don't see a secondary guy like Jalen Ramsey, if you don't see him pick off the ball or be involved. You can see him do that. You want to see that, but if you don't see him in the game, you don't hear from him, and you know he's playing. That's the best thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Howard had a good game too. Howard didn't do so bad. Howard did really good.
He had one bad play on one of the touchdowns. He was a little bit off, but he made a good play in the end zone on a deep throw. But he was okay.
He reminds me of Parker.
Yeah.
Who does? Oh, Waddle.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
No, Waddle's a phenomenal player. He's just not elite yet.
So let me ask you this then, because I know this was a question earlier in the season. I want to ask you that, just for S and giggles. A lot of people say we have a 1A, 1B receiver. Has Waddle shown now that he's not a 1B, that he's really just it's a 1A?
He's a 1B. He's not a 1. He hasn't proved he's a 1A. Okay. He hasn't proven that
so he's a
Tyreek's
2.
out. He can carry the load the whole game because he's Tyreek drops balls, but it's on tough plays. Jalen Waddle, like I just said, makes easy passes. He drops them.
Yeah,
he drops routine balls.
And I don't know. Maybe he doesn't expect the ball to get to him, and his mind's not really. I don't know.
The game, so it doesn't.
No, it didn't, and that's the thing. That's what's great about this football team. First of all, we talked about it last week with the INTs and whatever. Drop balls, whatever. This team is winning despite of that. In spite of that. And the defense is coming up big. Defense, is going to move up after the game they had today. Now, again, things like drop balls or offensive mistakes or whomever, whatever, can have that against teams like the Eagles or the Ravens coming up or the Cowboys, whatever. You got to have a clean game, and Miami has shown that they can grow from their mistakes. And now you see what the defense is doing, and that defense, hopefully, come Christmas Eve, and then after they get against the Ravens, can show up and get us that victory that we so desperately need, so we could kill the narrative that Miami can't win against whatever you want to call it. See, my thing would be top 10 offense and defense.
We
Miami's
are
strong.
top 10. But after today, I think we're going to.
I'm not talking about what we have.
Okay.
I know we already are top 10 offensive defense. We're the number one offensive football, and we're the 7th ranked defense.
Well, after this week,
we're going to move up.
Probably in the top 5 already.
Yeah. I'm talking about when we face a team, because like Baltimore is the next team. I don't know what Dallas's numbers, their rankings are.
They're in the top 5 defense. So I think they're a top 10 defense also.
Are they top 10
one? I think they're the second ranked offense probably, and probably a top 10 defense for sure. The last game against the Seahawks may have dropped them, but they're definitely the top 10.
So then that would be a true measuring stick game. Those 2 games are the next measuring stick games for Miami in regards of quote unquote real competition.
Because when you face the Jets on Monday night, unless Aaron Rodgers decides to make a miraculous recovery, you all you have to do is score a touchdown, and you're going to beat the Jets.
Yeah, no shoot. Oh, damn. All right, so you're right. You're right there. So the Cowboys are the 5th ranked offense in football, and they are the top 3 defense in defense.
Not after this week. After this week, they're going to go down because they gave up.
Still, I know, but still, they'll be in that top 10 range. Yeah. And then Baltimore is. Let's see. They're 7th in offense and number 2 in defense. So, look, the Miami just has to do their job. Win the games they're supposed to win. Go against Dallas. You know, what would it be? 11 at that point?
Yeah.
Because we got the Jets after Monday Night Football, right? We got the Jets. So we should be 11-3.
That's what I've been saying.
Against Dallas.
Yeah.
Do your job. And then, and hopefully you pull out one of those games. Hopefully both of them. Yeah. But if you could just get one win out of one of those 2 guys, we could do it.
Yeah. What I learned today is actually what Hank is concerned about 8 days from now.
The running game.
The running defense. Defense, Sealer, and Wilkins were a little leaky today.
Yeah, Brian Robinson, his numbers didn't really his final total number didn't.
He averaged 7.6 yards a carry.
That was the thing that stood out to me.
Yeah,
because Henry could get that, and still he could have like a 50-yard game, but he'll have 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You gotta play better against those running backs, especially the bulky ones.
And Sam Howell did a great thing on the second touchdown. It was phenomenal, but the defense was standing still. And our coverage, our linebacker coverage, like we are missing a linebacker who can cover a wide receiver in coverage. Like Duke Riley can't do it. Duke Riley was great going after the quarterback. So was Jerome Baker. But when they had to go cover someone, they were being toasted by Curtis Samuel. Like they could not cover him. The guy got 4 receptions for 65. And the reason why he got those 4 for 65 is because a linebacker was covering him, and they're not great in coverage. That is very concerning to me, that the linebackers are having trouble covering.
So let's run through the week very quick on what happened today throughout the NFL. Just run it by quick, FinStanza. We don't have to get too deep in it. But Miami right now, just before I go through every game or just go around the game, Dolphins right now, of course, the Chiefs are playing now. They're going against the Packers. Go, Pack, go. And the Jaguars play tomorrow. We want Cincy to win that game. Right now, of course, the way it's sitting, the Dolphins are the number 1 seed in the AFC. Baltimore's at a bye, so they're going to get affected, but it doesn't really hurt them. But right now, Miami's at the number 1 seed after their win today. As long as they do their job, they're golden. They're going to the playoffs. Yeah. Again, I'm knocking wood, but still, it's for sure. I think they're going to the playoffs. To me now, it's just about seeding, and I want home field advantage. That's what I want. Miami's 5-0 at home. I want to get that there. What are they on the road now that I said that? They are now 4-3 on the road now. 4-3. All right, so going through the
winning record on the road. Mazel tov.
Indianapolis Colts beat the Titans 31-28 in overtime. So that was I think I had picked the Titans in that game. I think we both did.
They should have won that game.
They should have, but they did drop it. So the Titans fall 31-28. The Falcons beat the Jets 13-8. Low scoring, boring game. Detroit Lions.
They had every chance to win that game. If I'm Danny and the battered Finn fans, those battered Jet fans, they are just, oh my God.
Yeah, it's a tough pill. The Lions defeated the Saints in New Orleans 33-28. I had the Lions winning that game.
But they let them come back, the Saints. The Saints came back, scored 21 versus 9 heading for the second half.
Broncos defeated the Texans defeated the Broncos 22-17. The Chargers beat the Patriots 6-0, eliminating the Patriots.
Imagine you were paid money to go to that game beginning of the year.
The Cardinals.
You're in the cold and you're sleeping.
Dude, I don't know what's worse. I think Cardinals beating the Steelers. Imagine if you're a Steelers fan and you're like, hey, dude, I know our offense is kind of trash, but at least we got a great defense and we can beat the Cardinals. It'll still help us. And then you lose to the Arizona Cardinals, one of the worst teams in football, 24-10. That's pretty bad. Miami, of course, does their job and they score big time, 45-15. Got the Panthers lost to the Buccaneers, 21-18.
That was a close game.
It was a very close game. 49ers did their job 42-19 against the Eagles.
By the way, you want to hear a crazy stat? You'll appreciate this.
Yeah.
Mike Evans. Every single year of his career, I think it's 10 years already. I think he has a record for the 10 straight years. I think it's 10 years, 1,000 yards or more.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Like he had some issues last year. I think a little bit the first game he dropped, but man, Mike Evans he's a one. He's a great.
He's one of those, and we know how good he is. But to me, he's one of those underrated.
Yeah.
Number ones. He talks about him enough. People don't.
He went for 7 for 162 today. He had a great game.
Cleveland lost to the Rams 36-19.
What's up with these Rams? Honestly,
they're one of those that's a team where you're like, oh, dude, they're gonna lose that game, and then they win. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah, Puka Nacua, it's just weird. I guess any team with Aaron Donald.
I can't say. What's his name? Nakua, right? Nakua, last name.
Puka Nacua. By the way, how cool is it every time the what the Washington Commanders are known for?
What's up? What's in the house? Good to see you, brother.
Every single game, they pop up. Mike McDaniel, head coach of the Dolphins. Kyle Shanahan, head coach.
I saw that. I like that. Yeah, I like that graphic.
LaFleur, head coach. Sean McVay. Like, if you think about Mike Shanahan, how was that team not great? Look at that tree. Look at that tree. Hey,
it's better than freaking Belichick.
It's better than Reed's. Way better than Reed's.
It's crazy to think. Well, look what Andy Reid has it. Well, now I can't believe Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson. Yeah. And
at least, if you had to rank them, obviously Belichick's dead last in regards to coaching trees. Every coach of his has stunk up the joint.
How do they score 0 points? How do you score 0 points in a football game?
I don't know.
You're an NFL football team. How do you put up 6-0?
He's done. He's done in New England. Has to happen.
People must have thought they went to Fenway Park for the game.
It's man, how the mighty have fallen. But it's kind of sweet because they go, oh, he wants to coach in his next. I'm talking about Bill Belichick, that he wants to coach in his next job wherever he goes. He doesn't want to be a VP, or he doesn't. He wants to do both. He wants to be a coach, and he doesn't want to go to a team that already has a coach. Wherever he could want to go, because his mind is on Don Shula to get that record.
Yeah.
But you want to know something? It won't freaking matter. You could go to Andy Reid could retire tomorrow, and then Belichick becomes the head coach of Kansas Chiefs, and he could win a Super Bowl in Kansas City, and he could beat Don Shula's record, but he will not be better than Don Shula because Shula won without Dan Marino. Yeah. He won.
Yeah. I would love to set up on Hard Knocks. I wish they could pull this off at one point. I don't know if you saw this, because if you go roll the tape, I made a prediction this morning that there'd be 2 very unhappy football teams, and that would be FSU and that would be Georgia.
Woo!
But FSU was fuming.
Touchdown Packers. Let's go, baby.
By the way,
good job. Joe, appreciate you, brother.
The fact that FSU didn't make it because they don't think they have their star quarterback.
That's horrible. That was stupid, and that's a dumb. Even the commentators were trying to make an argument for that, saying that they lost Travis and Jordan, and they're on their third string quarterback. To me, I'm not a fan of FSU. I don't like FSU. I'm a Hurricane fan. I don't like FSU, but they deserve to be there. To me, if you're on your third string quarterback and you still win the final 2 games and go undefeated, you should be in there. For some stupid reason, the underachieving Alabama, who just beat Georgia, all credit to Alabama for doing it. Georgia deserved to be out. They lost. It is what it is. But for Alabama to be over FSU because Alabama probably is the better team is dumb and ridiculous.
By the way,
and that's why that stupid committee is a joke.
For me, that was just an awful reason. Even Jalen Ramsey said, Georgia could have been in there. FSU could have been in there.
Alabama.
But what's pretty amazing is I don't know if you saw the room. Go watch the video after. When Michigan found out who the fourth team was in their room, you could hear a pin drop. They do not want to face Alabama.
No, they don't. I don't blame them.
If you're Texas, you know how excited you are to go face Washington? Texas is not worried to face Washington.
Don't sleep on Washington.
I know,
though.
but people
honestly, I know. I agree. It's going to be
rather face anybody but Alabama. By the way, I'd love to be in a room. Let me ask Stephen Ross. Where's your allegiance, the Dolphins or Michigan? And I'd love to have a watch party with Stephen Ross, Tua, Waddle, Raekwon Davis. Imagine this. I'd love to see Tua and Stephen Ross with Mike McDaniel in the middle, in between the two of them, live watching the game between Alabama. And can you imagine that? The controversy between Tua and Stephen Ross between Michigan, because this guy, I don't know if you know this, he gives more money to Michigan
yes, he
than
does.
Anybody I know.
I'm rooting for Michigan to beat the hell out of Alabama. I want them to win.
A lot of people don't want Michigan to win because of this whole sign stealing.
Who gives it? Stop. You know what I mean? It's like I don't want to see Nick Saban back in there. Forget that, dude. I want to see Michigan. And again, I think Michigan and Texas would be a fun final. I'll be happy. I picked the Huskies. I picked Washington to be in the final before the season in our Touchdown of Paradise podcast, college football podcast with those guys. Great show, guys. Catch them Thursday mornings on FinStanza Sports Network. But I picked those, and I picked Penix to be the Heisman winner. So I'm happy to see them there. And again, I'm a fan of Penix, so it'd be hard to pick against him. But Texas and Michigan might be the final two, in my opinion. It looks very strong.
This was the 1 year where I think the FS.
What's up, Crazy Dolphin?
The BCS would have preferred to have 6 teams.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait for next year for that. It's going to help.
The egg on their face right now is ridiculous. How you let people in a room make this decision is ridiculous.
It was bad. It was very bad. But anywho, back to it.
I talk about so like I said, for you, before I think we do studs and duds, I want to ask you, I mentioned a couple points about the linebackers, about the run defense. You didn't have a chance to respond to that. What are your thoughts on my points that I made to you and Manny and Alex and Thirsty and what I mentioned before? That was my main concern about the defense today, how they were a little leaky in those areas. What are your thoughts?
No, I agree. I agree. Again, I was happy overall with the way the entire team played on every – Tarvis, good to see you, my man. Shout out.
Worst thing to happen since Jameis Winston.
Ray Finkel, Mission Text Championship. Yeah. Again, I don't sleep on Washington. I've been rooting for them, but I think it's going to be Michigan and Texas.
Did you see the Texas game? Who was at the game?
Undertaker.
No, they had a belt. They gave it.
I know that.
If I saw it, you had Sheamus, you had Undertaker. It was super cool.
So, but just to get to your point.
And I love Pat. By the way, I love Pat McAfee. Did you see what he did with the dog? No. He sang the whole. Go watch it. He sang the whole theme song with the Georgia Bulldogs, and at the end, he goes, "I take you, Alabama." It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I was just seeing some here, but anyway, defense absolutely for next week. Of course, we'll get more into it as the week goes on. We got pregame and all that. We'll have to figure that out. We'll have Marissa Moreno of Dolphins Talk coming on to join us as well for Monday Night Football pregame. But yeah. The running defense is, especially now against Derrick Henry, that is a concern. It is leaky. You lose again. Like I said, I'm more concerned losing Jerome Baker than I was losing Jalen Phillips, and that's not saying Baker's better than Phillips. I think our edge rushers, we got a good depth in that position. You saw what really that is. I didn't see that.
I didn't know that.
Derrick Henry and concussion protocol. Let's look that up. Evan, homework, please. But anyway, continuing that, Jalen Phillips is a huge loss. There's no doubt about it. Having Phillips out is huge for the Dolphins. He's been having a great year. If you watch Hard Knocks episode 2, you saw the work he was putting in. You see how much he means, not just to the team on the field, but off the field. Bradley Chubb was like almost in tears or wasn't.
He's being evaluated, after the loss.
Awesome. Oh, we're not awesome. Sorry. We'll see. Anyway.
He knows where you live.
I know. I'm sorry. But anyway, I didn't mean it like that. But anyway, but again, when it happened, it sucks. I hate it because we don't want to lose anybody, especially somebody like that. But you have Van Ginkel, you have Bradley Chubb, you have Emmanuel Hogba, who just a couple seasons ago was right there as one of the league leaders almost in sacks. I feel good about our edge rushers. Now the linebacking unit.
Way to go, Ray.
Our linebacker. Oh, nice, brother. That's
Go
awesome,
look for
man.
Fish Tank. Go to the southeast corner. Look for a car wrapped
Tailgate.
Corvette. Go check out Hank.
Yeah. But what was I going to say
also
was
JPP. JPP is there too.
That's right. So appreciate that. Yes, guys, smash that like and subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. I appreciate it. And share with your friends and family and your neighbors, just like our good friend Steve Malloy would say. I was 6 years old.
Where is Malloy today? Is he on vacation?
I don't know. But anyway, he deserves it. He's a hardworking dude, man. He's in Dolphins Thursday, FinStanza Sports Network. But back to finish my point, because you keep talking, is that, and there it is, muting the mic. There you go, Chief. The linebackers unit, though, we can't afford to lose guys on that unit. And as much as people love to hate on Jerome Baker, he does his job. And you saw when he went out kind of the difference in that it looked like the Dolphins were taking their foot off the gas. To me, it looked like Baker was gone. And so, what are you going to do? You're going to be trusting Duke Riley to fill that role? Do you trust Channing Tindall, if he still exists, to be in that role? I don't know. I know, Evan brought it up earlier, Shaq Leonard. Somebody else brought Shaq Leonard up as well. I would be surprised again, and I think Alex was the one who brought this up on postgame on Battered Fin Fans. Andrew Van Ginkel could possibly look to be moved to that role. I wouldn't hate that. They have to figure out that linebacking spot, especially against against the Titans coming up if Derrick Henry plays. And of course, as you move forward, depending on, Drew Baker said he'll be back sooner rather than later. So hopefully he'll be back before the Dallas game. And of course, Baltimore. Did that answer your question? Now that you let me finish? All right. So where is the score now? I don't have it in front of me.
Still 7-0.
7-0.
Studs and duds?
Yes. Who are your top 3 studs and duds for today?
3 studs is super easy. Tua, Tyreek, and obviously the Gink. He was phenomenal today. Our duds, Jake Bailey, learn how to punt. Brandon Jones for injuring Jerome Baker, because that was more him than anybody else.
It was Xavier Howard, wasn't it?
No, it was Brandon Jones.
Really? I thought it was Howard.
Do you think Howard is going to go that fast? No way. No,
I thought it was Howard.
No, that was Brandon Jones all day long. He made a nice save, but he hurt his player. And the only other guy the last other guy, I guess I'll just give it to Waddle, not just because he has a deficiency at with catching the balls. He could not be dropping 2 balls in the game. It's just he's too good of a receiver to make those mistakes. The same way we've asked Tua not to turn over the ball, you can't drop routine balls in football.
Channing Tindall did have 3 tackles today. He had 2 total. 2 and then 1 assist.
How many sacks did they get today? The team.
Let's see here.
I'm gonna look.
3?
3?
Yeah. Well, Bradley Chubb had half a sack.
Agba had 1.
Zach Sealer had 1.5, and Agba had 1. I'm sorry, wait. And I think Ginkel, they don't have him listed for a sack, but he should have got.
He had a sack at the beginning. The first one was.
I think he pulled away. No, they gave it to the other guy because he pulled away.
Okay.
At that point, but he did cause it. So.
No, Waddle was not a dud. I said if he were going to he was a dud for dropping footballs. I think the team played so well today. He should not be dropping footballs.
Sorry about this. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. I'm horrible at names. Forgive me. But I don't think he did. I did not see him, and I don't see any numbers on him.
No, he did not play today.
Let's see.
Who are your studs and duds?
Dude, it's hard for me to pick anybody different than what you said in regards of studs. But I will.
I'm going to pick Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane.
Yeah, that's what I'm going. I'm going to go with the running game. Devon Achane, his first game back, really, because he got re-injured and all that. Great game. Going to go with the running game. Devon Achane, Raheem Mostert, stud. Tyreek Hill, stud. Andrew Van Ginkel, stud. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, however you want to sneezy.
Yeah.
God, it's hard, and it's hard to pick duds. To be honest with you,
I was fair
I know you were absolutely fair.
because they were that good today.
That's what I'm saying. And I you know me, I am not somebody who, I'm going to skip it or not, but it's hard for me to pick a dud today.
Okay.
But I'm going to roll with your guys just because you had some. I Waddle is a stud overall, but he is so important to this football team, Villain, that I will say that we can't have him dropping passes in his hands when it comes time for Dallas. When it comes time against Baltimore, those catches he better be making. The same thing as when we're facing those guys. Tua should play the way he played today. It's not some major game. Tua didn't have some monster game. Tua had played a clean game, 18 to 24, 280, 2 touchdowns. Perfect. Play that way against Baltimore and Dallas. Don't do what you did last week. We still won. Hopefully your team seals that deal. But there's going to be games where we're going to need you to play a clean game because maybe your defense can't stop those guys the one day. So clean games count.
By the way, how nice is it that remember last year we couldn't? I think even Thirsty laughed. I always at the beginning of the game I would always tweet they lost another toss. They're winning every toss. It's phenomenal. We're getting the ball. We're kicking off every game. It's phenomenal.
Waddle is a stud, no freaking doubt.
Waddle is a stud of a football player, but those catches are inexcusable. Those
There you go, Ray. Thank you, Ray. Ray saving me here. Skylar Thompson, a dud. 0 for 0, 0 yards, 0 touchdowns. Just ridiculous. Can't even help the team. Stays on the bench.
You know who was a stud? Vic Fangio, because he's being a poor sport and not coming on Hard Knocks. Because honestly, can you imagine? I guarantee you, he said, you bring Hard Knocks here, I don't want to see one camera. If you've noticed, they even do the practices. You never see Vic Fangio.
Yeah, you only see the linebackers, coach.
You see Campanelli, you see Bevel, you see McDaniel, you see all of them. You're going to see everybody. You just won't see Fangio.
Let me ask you this.
Gotta love Fangio.
Let me ask you about Hard Knocks. And,
I love it.
I would have loved, if we had the time to do it.
The 3-0 with Hard Knocks.
I know. I would have loved if I thought about doing it, but obviously, you know how we are with time, with coaching now and parenting and doing the network and working. But I was like, man, we should do a Hard Knocks episode review every episode.
We could do it this week if you want.
But, we could always touch on here. But how much of it, like when was it Bevel or was it Frank Smith? Who was the one telling? Maybe it was Bevel, right? Quarterback's coach. Bevel was the one who asked him, what are you guys thankful for? And they never showed.
Like, Tua was thankful for being the opportunity he's been given.
No, I know he was.
Did you see the whole thing with Tua talking about how Michael Bublé is a beast? Like, he was calling Michael Bublé a beast, and he loves Christmas music. And he's mad at Bevel that they don't listen to Christmas music while they're in the quarterback room. Like,
the Hard Knocks. By
the way, I want to see the QB room. I want to see
linebackers coach.
I want to see. I want to see I want to see Dan Marino in the QB room in one of the things. That'd be cool.
But I found it was so funny was when they showed it. They obviously they got to us. Then they went to Mike White. They skipped Skylar and they go right to them. I'm like, poor Skylar. Skylar probably said, instead of saying I'm thankful for the team, he probably was like, and I don't know what he said, but I'm just, he probably said, like, I'm thankful for my mom, I'm thankful for my this. I mean, they're probably like boring.
No, they're all thankful for their personalized scooters that they got.
Yeah, Tyreek.
That's gonna be cool. That's gonna be cool.
Did you see? You realize Tua wearing that patch today?
He still has a laceration there. He has a very bad laceration.
What happened? I know. I saw the cut
he cut. He fell when he fell on one of the plays against the Jets where he got sacked. His entire tattoo got cut open. Like he completely.
I saw it was pink. It wasn't even. It was like white and pink. Yeah, was it bloody?
He had stitches.
Oh, but what happened? What caught it? Was it a cleat? Was it a helmet?
I don't know. Something on the ground. I think he must have scraped it.
I was wondering about that today because I saw it today and it reminded me
what happened. But thank God it's not his throwing arm.
Hey, Villain. No, yes, he is. That linebackers coach. I'm forgetting his name right now. But again,
Anthony Campanelli. He was actually.
That's right.
He was the only guy. He was the only defensive.
He was a part of Flores' staff, wasn't he?
Yes, but he was also the only guy interviewed within the Dolphins brass for the DC position.
So
he's a Dan Campbell type of guy.
Yes, and you know what? If Tua don't bleed, I didn't notice any blood. It was just white and pink. I was like, gee, I thought that went that deep. I'm like, God, dude.
He's wearing the do-rags. He's wearing the.
I saw, yeah. Tua's a different man, and you watch Hard Knocks, and you love that guy, man. If you watch him, it's like it's hard not to cheer for him
I
or
don't care
want him
what
to do
anybody
well.
says about Chris Greer. I know we can be hard on him on different things. This could be no joke. The Dolphins' greatest trade in their history of their franchise, you could say it now without argument, was Tyreek Hill.
Oh,
like it's
absolutely.
not even close. Like he is the greatest signing, the greatest trade, and good for Chris Greer. Good for Chris Greer.
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
He is that coach. I don't care. That staff is doing it because in the end, I know we were hard on them with the drafting, but Austin, when's the last time we complained about Austin Jackson? Liam Eichenberg was great today. He's not causing us problems.
Did well, yeah.
Like it's Robert Hunt. Oh, by the way, I love Robert Hunt. I don't know about you. You ever watch him on the field? The guy is just such a difference maker on that line. Like and Connor Williams was great. Connor Williams had his best snapping day.
Let me tell you something. What I will tell you about the way this offensive line, or even some of these players that are starting to really show up, tells you how important coaching is.
Yeah.
And people that were last year, or not last year, but the year before, when I was talking about, I talked about that. I didn't see who wrote that. Was that Ray, about the tattoo being ruined?
Yeah.
I talked about that with my wife today. It's so messed up. He did that, all that long sleeve, and now that part is gone.
He can correct it, yeah, but they'll fix it.
Oh, of course. But I will say, what I was going to say was how important the coaching is, because, I remember a lot of people were arguing with me when I said it on Finn's Talk today several years ago with Flores, when they were on that losing streak, and I said, we need to fire Flores. I said, fire both of them, actually. But people were like, oh, we keep changing coaches. We keep changing coaches. Look what happens when you hit on a coach. And McDaniel, McDaniel's in his second year, and FinStanza is probably famous to be the leading the bandwagon as a McDaniel critic. Loves McDaniel, though. I will give him that. I know he does. I'm not saying he hates him or anything, but he will, if McDaniel blows a call or doesn't, he's the first one on here going.
See what Thirsty wrote? On the first 32, he threw the ball. He goes, oh, FinStanza's going to get pissed.
Yeah. And again, it's like, dude, there's things like that. But look at what he's done for players like Tua, what he's been able to do. And then watch on Hard Knocks and look how all those guys, they're serious about winning. They want to win for him. They want to win for the team. They believe in their quarterback. But you don't see it's like their heads are down. They're nervous. They're laughing. They're having a good time. Anthony Caponelli, the linebackers coach, is talking about ass kicking is the same in every language, blah, blah, blah. He is dead serious. He's going off. He's having a blast. And Tyreek's laughing in the corner. But Tyreek is listening. He gets it. They know what the message is coming across. He goes and hires Butch Berry, McDaniel, hires a staff that you see the difference when he gets to hire staff. Brings in Vic Fangio. Look at the difference. Butch Berry, a lot of people were ragging on that hire. Oh, blah, blah, blah. You know all the critics because you know all of them well. But look what he's doing. Look at what this offensive line is. Coaching makes a difference.
By the way,
coaching makes a difference.
You know what's amazing? This is our first. I'm going back. I'm going to try and do the math. Since 2000 to 2003, that was you can go back to 99. Actually, we can go way back because between 1990 and 2003, the Dolphins, except for 8-8. So sorry, from 1990 to 1995, we had winning records, and we were 8-8 in 96, and then from 97 to 2003, we had winning records. This will be the first time McDaniel 2 years in a row winning record. Fourth year in a row, we finally hit. We're going to have a winning record, and we're literally in the beginning of December. It's phenomenal. Yeah. And honestly, this is a different 9-3. This is honestly, we have depth. I don't care what anybody says. We have depth.
Miami went 8-3 last year. Then they lost. They went 8-4.
They were 8-3.
That's right. They never even made it to
that's the San Francisco game they lost.
Yeah. So this is a different football team overall in regards of coaching, defense, offense, chemistry.
Papa Vic. It's Papa
all the
Vic.
way around. All the way around.
Like I told you, remember I go, just wait for Vic Fangio. That guy is going to earn his money like that. Jalen Ramsey's going to earn it like that. Vic Fangio took a defense that was 25th in the league, and they're going to be probably top 5. Like, he did that in 5 weeks. Bobby, he did that in 5 weeks.
Coaching makes a difference. And I hope someone like Flores, if he gets a second opportunity,
Oh God, no.
sees that.
Oh
I hope
God, no. God, no.
what
Don't
25.
you can't give him another head coaching job.
Oh, stop it! You know someone's going to do
That
it.
poor
Stop being like that.
that poor quarterback.
But what I'm saying is that you hope somebody like that and somebody that's coming up who takes it a little too seriously, and they and don't say McDaniel doesn't take it seriously. You know damn well he does. But I'm saying when you take yourself too seriously, hopefully he learns and he says, you know what? Okay, in the next gig I have, I know what I'm going to do because he knows what the narrative is on him. But I'm talking about any coach that goes into a job, taking the job himself way too seriously. Look at what McDaniel's doing. Look what Shanahan does. Look what those guys do, and Sean McVay. And look how they're winning.
But look at the organization. You're doing the cancer challenge in a couple months. It all starts. Stephen Ross hires Tom Garfinkel.
Great guy. I mean, great for the organization.
Yeah. And then you have Reggie McKenzie and Marvin Allen. These are two guys who could easily be general managers in the NFL. You basically have three general managers.
Yeah.
That means the camaraderie of this team is phenomenal. It's just like I'll even give Coach Lem some credit. Go, Coach Lem.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, but no, it's true. And Villain's saying it there. We won by 30, my bro. Hey, look.
That's not easy. That's not
easy.
And
people are going to say, and we know they're going to say, oh, it was against Commanders, just like they said it was against the Broncos at that time. It's an NFL football team that you did that against. And it's not just your offense. Your offense didn't score 45 points today. Your defense scored. Your kicker scored. It was an all-around team win. Guys, we are at the hour. The Packers, I believe, have the ball. I don't know where they're at. I'm going to watch the game.
3rd and 5 on the Kansas City 9.
Oh, really?
And the Chiefs, touchdown. 13-3. It's going to be 14-3.
Packers!
Yeah. And the Chiefs had the ball on the Green Bay 8, the Green Bay, I think, 9. And Mahomes on 3rd down, 3rd and goal, took a 7-yard sack.
Sorry, I tried to keep the kids quiet, but it's been an hour. They are running around. Apologies for the noise.
Who's
it's all
misbehaving?
good.
Tristan, Audrey, or
no? It's Eliana. It's the
Eliana?
baby. Yeah, she's just. I don't hear the other two. I hear, but that's okay.
By the way, Tati knows me better than most people now.
She does. She does.
She's sick of me yet?
No. You know that. You know that. It would be fun if you.
How did you get Alex on a post game show? The guy hides from the Dolphins post game shows.
I know. No, I got the text message yesterday. Manny texted me and said, "Hey, can I get you and Alex?" And I was like, "I could ask Alex. Alex, she's pretty busy." I was like, "Oh, I could do that. I'm actually going to be home at that time." I was like, "Oh, well, there you go." So it was good to have him on.
By the way, I must say, I don't get these Floridians because I obviously have been going to Florida for as long as anybody. How do you wear long sleeves in like 80-degree weather? I don't get it. How do you put on a long sleeve? Every time I see Alex, he's wearing long sleeves.
Listen, I don't know about, first off, well, look at McDaniel, but look, Tati, who's from Puerto Rico on the island, of course, she's from the island. It could be 75 degrees and 75 degrees and there's wind, and she's putting on a leather coat. I'm like, you're ridiculous. You're ridiculous. Anything. And she goes, my bones hurt when it's so cold. It's not even cold, Holy moly.
By the way, where's Tammy from Miami? Everything good?
Mom's good. Yeah, mom's
seen
good.
her on the show for a couple of weeks.
I know. I've tried to reach out to her. She left me a voice message for Tristan because he won his basketball game.
How many of those baskets did you put in for the team?
Yeah, right. It was a fun game. The kids did really well. And what's cool is that
how high are the nets? 7 feet, 6 feet,
8 feet.
8 feet.
Right?
Good.
8 feet. Yeah. Yeah. No, the kids did great. It was fun. I wear a sleeve when it's 70. You see, I don't know. Villain, are you from? Are you? I was born raised Miami, Hialeah. And obviously no AC. So I was like, I remember saying when I was a kid growing up, I was like, hey, when I grow up, I want a working AC unit, and I'm gonna keep that at 68 degrees. And I kept that until my children were born. And my wife guilted me. She's like, the baby's gonna be freezing. You see like a little quiver, and of course that's just what babies do. And I was like, all right. So I took it up to 72, and now of course the Islanders, the Puerto Ricans, all live at my house, and so it is.
Before I was sweating, I was freezing. Now I'm sweating because I'm wearing the hoodies, but. Because the temperature changes in the heat of the house.
I know. Well, here, I don't know what it is, but this spot right here, no matter if I have that fan, which I do, I don't know what it is, but it makes it hot in here, in this area right here. But once I get there, the fan's blowing on me. It makes no sense.
Yeah, no, I have a neighbor who in Florida, she'll see me going down to the pool with the kids when it's like 70 degrees outside,
Yeah.
and she'll come down wearing a thick sweater. She goes, "How are you in the pool? It's cold." I go, "No, it's a heat wave.
Oh,
I'm
dude.
from up north. This is nothing."
I love when the temperature drops, and I will wear, yeah, of course, when it's where it is for you now in Canada, right, too, whatever, yeah, I'm bundling up. If it's 30, 20, I'm bundling up.
It
But
exhausts me.
if it's 60, 50, or, top 40, I'm out there, I got my shorts, and I got a sleeve, maybe a long sleeve shirt, but I'm chilling, man. I love it.
70? Oh, my God.
We were, but we always will do 70 and windy.
You know what? Dylan, go when it's 75 degrees and sunny. Go sit on the visitor's side of the sidelines. You won't be wearing a hoodie.
I will say, Dylan, too, man. I appreciate you watching and commenting and everything else. You're from Miami, brother. You're gonna love our East 10th Street Boys show. Me and Alex were from Hialeah, grew up there. We talk sports, of course, Dolphins, Heat, Marlins, everything, but also talk growing up Miami and life, dude.
Yeah.
Tune in. We should be on tomorrow night.
I have to measure Villain. Villain, what's your thought? If you're a basketball fan, what's your thought on Bam? That will determine my likeness for you.
Oh, shut it. You don't care. Oh, okay, good. Well, glad you have.
By the way, I'm just cheesy.
I know you are. It's all.
I don't know why I always make that joke, because he reminds me of Spicy P in Toronto, Pascal Siakam, where they're supposed to be a leader on this team, but they're still not that leader. They could be a great, phenomenal superstar in this league, but they just haven't hit that level.
I think Bam's been better this year. I like the way.
Yes, but he's not Jimmy Butler special.
Well, I mean, as a leader, if you want to say it like that.
Yeah, he needs to lead the team.
Jaime's been amazing.
Yeah, Jaime's a rookie.
And it's true. Bam is the glue. He is the glue. Bam's been playing really well this year. I've been impressed with Bam this season. And he should be up for Defensive Player of the Year. I think he gets disrespected. But Jaime, and again, I remember, Alex told me, it is funny. I remember when I told Alex, man, I like Jaime, man. I think he'd fit perfect with you. He's not athletic enough. And I love Alex, and Alex now loves Jaime. But I was like, and now looking back and seeing what Jaime is, oh, dude, that dude is. I can't wait to see what he could be in 5 years. But I love what I see and what he's doing.
By the way,
right
do
now.
you know? So
I know it's Heat talk now. Forgive us,
that
guys.
Jokic doesn't even train in the offseason?
Dude,
the guy just shows up and shoots a basketball. It's bananas. That guy.
It's ridiculous.
They make him. That guy is so different. Remember, he goes. The best thing. When's the parade? This week he goes, no, I want to go home.
Dude, he's special, dude. We watch, my father-in-law watches any team that has a Puerto Rican. If there's a team that has a Puerto Rican, that's the team he's going to watch. So there's one guy on Denver, and he gets so offended they don't pass him the ball. But it's like, dude, he rides the bench.
Blame my Canadian Jamal Murray.
Yeah, so he watches the Denver game, but I was watching Joker the other day, and he just makes it look so easy, and it's like, it's crazy, dude. But anyway, guys, Dolphins are 9-3 on the season. They will face the Tennessee Titans next week for Monday Night Football.
Who scored the most points this week? Miami Dolphins.
That's right.
By the way, the Oilers song,
Villain, Jaime. I went before the draft, before the draft night. I said he reminded me of Jimmy Butler. Now, of course, that's what people are saying. I think he could be, and I'm not saying anytime soon when I say this, but he could replace Jimmy Butler for the future. I think Jaime is that special. I think.
By the way,
he's really.
Jaime and Alex look have a sort of a resemblance.
You're such an.
They could be long. They could be cousins.
I don't know about that, Chris. Thank you so much.
That guy's got some hair on him, man.
He does, guys. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow to East 10th Street Boys. You can catch FinStanza, I believe, on Thursday night for Bandwagon. Real Talk, Fin's Talk is going to be on Tuesday night as well. You guys know that. And Monday Night Football pregame. We'll figure out the time. I think we'll have to rush, probably get home and
I'll be home.
Yeah, I have to get home.
I could do it at 6:30. I could do it.
Probably.
We could do it into game time, and then
I might have to start it from the car, getting home from work, all that went up, but we'll figure it out. But it'll be me, FinStanza, and again, Marissa Marino from Dolphins Talk will join us for that pregame show. It should be a lot of fun, talking Dolphins, talking Titans, talking NFL. We'll also be recapping the week for that, and then of course post game, depending how late everything is, we'll figure that out. But either way, guys, thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you. And I got the mouse here, so it's working out just fine. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and most importantly, fins up. We'll see you guys next time.